This is my home, Piedmont, West Virginia. And these are my people, my friends and family. Out of Piedmont's 2,000 residents in 1950, about 300 were black, and we all lived in 3 segregated neighborhoods. The color of our skin set strict limits on where we could live and go to school, where we could work, and with whom we could socialize. But it also bonded us together, culturally, in innumerable ways. We created complex and nurturing communities that helped us to survive the stifling inequities of racial discrimination. Segregation could impose many limits, but it couldn't completely crush all of our dreams.
Called them and said, okay, you've been trying to get me to come back to Broadway, here's your chance.
Samuel L. Jackson grew up under Jim Crow, just like I did, and he's risen to the pinnacle of his profession. He's that rare actor who garners big box office numbers and critical respect. Did you think you'd grow up to be an actor?
No, that wasn't an option. But the one thing that I had decided by this age was that I was not going to spend my life in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The world held a lot of interest and mystery for me, and I was going to get out there and get some of that.
Sam left Chattanooga to attend Morehouse College. But his 18 years growing up there fundamentally shaped the person he's become today. What was Chattanooga like in the 50s?
Oh, quiet southern town, extremely segregated. You know, there were still white-only signs, and when the county fair came to town every year, there was one day that was the black day.
Right.
That we could go to the fair, and that was on Friday.
Was there a moment when racism first hit you upside your head in Chattanooga when you were growing up?
Oh, it was always there.
The color line was clearly drawn. Even in Sam's neighborhood in downtown Chattanooga, which was a patchwork of black families and a few poor white ones.
There was a little bitty kid across the street, and if he saw me and my grandmother, he would say, "Hey, nigger lady," or "Hi, nigger boy," and, you know, I'd be ready to hit him, and my grandmother would leave him alone.
Yeah.
And, you know, some white kids drove by on the bus, and they threw rocks out the window or threw light bulbs at us on their way to school. So I had a very good idea of what our place was.
Family was the first line of defense against the sting of segregation. For Sam, that meant his mother and grandparents. His father had abandoned his family before Sam could walk.
I didn't have a sense of not having a father because I had my grandfather there in the house, who was my best friend, and he'd tell me stories. Oh, we'd listen to the radio. We'd listen to radio dramas.
Oh, you would?
Yeah. He bought me my first knife.
Yeah.
We could carve together. But the fact that I had a knife and he had one was like so cool to me.
To Sam, his grandfather was larger than life. But to most of white Chattanooga, he was probably just another Negro janitor pushing a broom.
I'd been going to work with him since I was 1 or 2 years old. You know, he held my hand and I walked to work with him.
Yeah.
And those white people my grandfather worked for, they were always Mr. So-and-so and so, and he was twice their age and they were still calling him Ed. I mean, being called boy, boy, boy. My grandfather was a boy. He's 60 years old and he was still a boy.
Thrown back on themselves, the black community in Chattanooga turned to each other for strength and support.
The black community was a very tight-knit community. I didn't feel like I was being deprived of anything because everybody took such great care of us. When people start talking about segregation, they always think about, oh, it must have been so hard. It's like, no, that was what it was.